Alright, YouTube, so let's talk about what I feed my fish. I mean, a lot of people are asking me what I feed them. They look good, so I thought I would do a quick video on the importance of feeding a variety to your fish. At least I think it's important. I think it's great to have a balanced diet. So the first thing that I do is I do not feed them every day. I know some people think that's a bad idea. Some people think it's a great idea. It works for me. I'm just telling you what works for me. But I don't feed every day. That avoids them getting bloat. That avoids sickness and stress. And it also causes them to search for things at the bottom of the tank. So they'll police the tank on their own. So that's how I really keep the tank clean. I know I talked about that in the last video. So yeah, I only feed them every other day. Fish live in the wild. There's nobody there to feed them every day. So they will find their food. They can go days without eating. I don't go days. I go every other day. So yeah, I mean, and I think that's the important thing, is just to give them a variety and a balanced diet. So let me go ahead and start with what I feed them. Well, first I'll show you how I feed them this variety. I give them something different. So how I keep track of that is right here. Okay, so what I have is a binder that I keep, and in this binder every day what I do is I fill it out once a month. So every day, you see, on June 1st they're gonna eat the Zoo Med. Wednesday they'll have New Life Spectrum, and then Friday Zoo Med, and then once a week they'll get a frozen mix, and we'll talk about what I feed them. So once a week they'll get a frozen mix, and you'll see the dates keep going, and that's how I keep track of things. It's also how I keep track of things like water changes. 25%, you can see there I need a 25% water change on the 6th. That'll happen. Add some cichlid trace, add some lake salt, and my 306 filter needs to be serviced on that day. And then you'll see I'll add in on this day. I know I'll have to vacuum my tank, so every other week I vacuum. I mean, that's how I keep it. And this is a good thing to have. You can mark down days where you purchased the fish, so you can go back and figure out how long you've had it. You can mark down, days that if your cichlid needed to be treated, if it was sick or something like that, you can go ahead and mark that down. It's a great thing to have. Some people use electronic devices. I like the old school pen and paper because it's just quicker for me, and it's better than having my phone going off a million times just to remind me or something. So I think this is better. I can pull it out every day, look at what I'm supposed to feed them if I forget, and I think that's a great thing. Here's the products that I feed them. Here's the first thing, Spirulina 20. So this is made by Zoo Med, and this is some great stuff. They love this stuff. So on the inside, get it open for you. There it is. Nice flakes. They come in pretty big, so you're gonna have to break these up. But this stuff is great. This is a great product. Great food. I think they like this more than the New Life Spectrum. So every other day they'll either get the New Life Spectrum or they'll get the Spirulina 20 flakes. So I go back and forth between the flakes and the pellets and the frozen food, so they get a variety of everything, and they are not eating the same thing all the time. Humans don't eat the same thing every day. They have the same organs as us. They shouldn't eat the same thing every day. And It's good to have a balance of spirulina and vegetables and a balance of protein with some meat. So they get the spirulina, then I'll let a day go by where they eat nothing, and then the next day will come and they will get New Life Spectrum Cichlid formula. And when I drop this in there, I also drop in some of these sinking spirulina pellets. So that goes together. And we also have here the mini algae wafers. I drop these in every time I feed, every other day. This is for the Synodontis catfishes at the bottom of the tank. I don't drop these in at the same time. I'll wait for it to turn dark, or when I turn the lights out at night, and then I'll drop a couple of these mini algae wafers in there. They're mini because mine are still small, but you know, it's working for them. They like it. So I drop these in the dark every other day. So that's what I'm feeding them. This cobalt stuff, I got it for free actually. Someone gave this to me for free, so I wanted to see how it works out, and it's really good, pretty good. They really like it, so I think I'm gonna continue using it. So that's what I feed them when they're on pellet day. Then we go over to frozen food day. So frozen food day, I was feeding them these two brands before. I'll show you. This is frozen Cichlid Delight and Hikari spirulina brine shrimp is what I was feeding them. Once a week they get the frozen food. What I started doing now is making my own frozen food with the same ingredients, but this is a mixture of some fresh shrimp. I put some peas, I put some broccoli, I took some spirulina powder, there is cucumbers, zucchini, some gelatin to hold it together when you drop it into the tank. And once the gelatin got harder, I put it in the freezer so it gets hard. Then all I do is I take one out, I drop it into like a little glass of tank water, I let it thaw out for about a half hour or so, and drop it right into the tank. Yeah, it'll save you some money too. Like, this should last you a long time because these are some pretty big ice cubes. So once I take one out, I break it in half, and it'll take me a while to go through a tray of this. So yeah, if you don't feel like making your own, I think I may do a video on that, but there's so many videos out there, but I may do one anyway. But if you don't feel like making your own, these are two good brands. You know, you can't go wrong with Hikari. They make some of the best food out there, and I thought that this Cichlid Delight was really good, really great. So that's what I'm feeding them. And then once in a blue moon, maybe once or twice a month, I will take some seaweeds. This is mostly a lot of salt water. Fish can be fed this, but you can also give this to your cichlids. I take that and I put it on this nice little omega-1 clip, and they go nuts for this. They go like nut. They'll tear this thing apart. So once or twice a month, I'll give them some seaweed just to keep the vegetables in their diet. If you don't have this, or you don't want to spend money on the seaweed, you can just take some romaine lettuce and clip it right to there. Watch what they do. They will go nuts over that. So yeah, man, that is what I feed them, and that's how I feed them. That's my feeding regimen and everything like that. So hope you enjoyed my video. Before we go, I'm just going to show you how they eat, and that's it. So thanks, guys.